I count my blessings every day because I have the kind of friends who stand by you through the bad and the good.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the times when our favourite cheesecake-eating Miami grandmas made us feel seen.
You're kidding, that's great!
Number 10, late night cravings. Late night gossip sessions with your besties are good for the soul, but only if there's food involved. Almost every episode of The Golden Girls involves the main cast having deep, meaningful, and often naughty discussions over a midnight snack. Is your ex overstaying their welcome in your house? Have a piece of cheesecake.
I just love it when we all get together like this.
Are you wondering whether you should pay for your mean old neighbour's funeral because you might have accidentally killed her? Cheesecake.
We started out talking about Mrs. Claxton's funeral.
Yeah, but somewhere along the way we segued into Blanche, the miniseries.
In 7 seasons, there wasn't a stressful situation that eating dessert in the middle of the night couldn't cure. It does leave us wondering just how many cheesecakes these ladies consumed. It must be a record.
You know what would go so good on this cheesecake is those chocolate sprinkles.
Number 9, badly timed illness. A nasty illness can come at the worst time. Sometimes, though, you just have to power through. In this first season episode, Dorothy, Blanche, and Rose come down with the flu a few days before the social event of the season. The girls are determined to go, as they all expect to win a prestigious humanitarian award on the night. Sure, it's not exactly advisable or responsible behaviour, especially post-COVID.
This is all my fault.
Oh, no, Rose, it's all my fault. The minute I found out you were contagious, I should have thrown you out on the street.
Still, who hasn't had to power through an illness to do something you really wanted to do? As Dorothy reminds us, sometimes when you're that sick, you just feel a little more selfish than usual.
To friendship.
Number 8, age anxiety. Okay, we're all getting older. There's no need to dwell on it. Blanche Devereaux, a self-proclaimed devastatingly beautiful woman, represents those of us who are in a little more denial about that than others.
When Dirk looks at me, you think he sees an old woman? No, he sees a young, vibrant, passionate contemporary.
In this classic episode, Blanche begins a drastic lifestyle change to keep herself young. She fills herself with vitamins and bee pollen and adopts a punishing exercise regimen.
If I'm gonna keep him, I gotta give it all I got. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got some road work to do.
Oh, hi, Blanche. You look terrific.
Thanks.
She practically deludes herself into thinking she can stay young forever. The sad thing is, Blanche is only doing this for a younger man's attention. Luckily, her friends are there to bring her back to reality.
For the first time in my life, I feel over 40.
You know why that is, honey?
Why?
Because you're over 50.
Number 7, surgery scare. Self-proclaimed hypochondriac Dorothy Zbornak finds out she must undergo surgery to have a tumour removed from her foot.
No. It's a very simple surgical procedure. As a matter of fact, I'd only be in the hospital overnight.
Having a fear of hospitals, she hems and haws until her mother, Sophia, guilts her into following doctor's orders.
Come on, don't be such a baby. I had my appendix out in the hospital in Sicily. That was rough.
No one likes surgery, and there is no such thing as just a little operation. We certainly can relate to her fear of going under the knife, even if we haven't snuck out of the hospital in the middle of the night to avoid it. But in the usual Golden Girls style, the show offers a heartfelt reality check between the punchlines.
Dorothy, are you all right? How do you feel?
Like a fool. Like a damn fool.
Number 6, vacation horror story. There's nothing more frustrating than a bad vacation. You save up, you take time away from work, and for all that, you expect some good, old-fashioned rest and relaxation.
I knew I should never have let you two talk me into coming to this godforsaken place.
Oh, come off it, Blanche. We all agreed that this was where we wanted to spend our vacation.
In this season 2 episode, the girls decide to take a vacation to a lush tropical paradise, but end up in a rundown hotel with a less than accommodating staff. After a series of mishaps, the girls eventually end up stranded on what they think is a deserted island.
Our big worry is nobody knows we're missing, so nobody's out looking for us. The odds are pretty decent that we're all gonna die. Oh,
When a trip turns out to be a dud, it's not just disappointing, it's frustrating. Not even a vibrating bed can make it worth it.
Yeah, maybe this room isn't a total loss. Look here, a vibrating bed. Come on, let's give it a try.
Number 5, medical gaslighting. Anyone who has ever had a chronic illness or a doctor who just wouldn't listen to them might want to check out this 2-part season 5 premiere.
I am at a point now where I am so exhausted that sometimes I cannot speak. Literally, cannot speak.
It follows Dorothy's disheartening experience with several doctors who write off her symptoms as psychosomatic. She's finally vindicated by a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome.
I can't tell you what a relief this is.
But her real moment of triumph comes when she confronts one of the high-profile doctors who brushed her off in the middle of a restaurant. The monologue is one of the show's biggest fist-pumping moments.
No one deserves that kind of treatment, Dr. Budd. No one.
It feels like payback for everyone who ever felt mistreated or misunderstood by a physician.
You know, someday, Dr. Budd, you're going to be on the other side of the table. And as angry as I am, and as angry as I always will be, I still wish you a better doctor than you were to me.
Number 4, pesky exes. Miami is known for its warm climate. Luckily, Dorothy is here to provide the shade. Stan Zbornak is a guy who just can't take a hint.
If God didn't want us to be together again, he would never have sent us a priest.
When he and his ex-wife are forced, through some pretty wild circumstances, to share a bedroom for the first time in years, she doesn't make it easy for him.
You're not getting into this bed, Stanley.
Then where am I supposed to sleep?
On the floor like any dog.
Dig after delicious dig, Dorothy puts him in his place. Given their history, it's hard not to root for her as she tells him he can't sleep in her bed. Those of us with exes who we'd love to tell off get to live vicariously through her in these moments.
Oh, Stanley Zbornak, I don't believe that you're trying to charm me.
Is it working?
I don't think so.
Number 3, bad neighbours. From jewel thieves to teddy bear kidnappers, the girls have had a lot of bad neighbours over the years. However, Frida Claxton is the quintessential neighborhood villain.
I live by myself because I like it. I've got no use for people, never have.
She represents every bad neighbor who makes too much noise at night, who never has a nice word to say, and whose dog uses the bathroom in your yard. Terminally delightful Rose Nyland seems completely unable to accept that Claxton is simply a nasty person who hates people.
how can you hate a living thing?
I hate you.
For those of us who know what it's like to live next to a totally rotten human being, it's totally believable.
And if you don't like it, just drop dead. Go on, Dorothy.
Number 2, eating well.
I pass.
Me too.
I'm not touching that.
After a health scare, the girls confront their mortality by spitting in the face of death and eating a chocolate cake. Dorothy's story about a woman's death in a freak accident is sad not because she died, but because her last meal was healthy and tasteless.
I mean, why starve myself to the point of thinness if I know that I could die tomorrow? I mean, why not eat the chocolate cake?
While the Golden Girls have had their fair share of health crazes and diets, they never shy away from their love of good food. After all, what's the point of living long if you don't live well? Watching the girls rationalize eating dessert made us feel seen, but even the girls have their limits.
Here we are not eating chocolate cake, which we obviously adore, because we want to stay very thin and then drop dead. That's nuts.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, confronting bigotry. Between the expertly written jokes and fantastic performances of the 4 leads, there was always a sense that the Golden Girls' heart was in the right place when it came to big issues. This is one of the best examples of that. Before the internet comment section was invented, you had to tell a bigot about themselves right to their face.
The Mortimer Club is restricted.
Barbara, why are you a member of a club like that?
Because they serve a great breakfast and the parking is free. Besides, it's their policy, not mine.
When she realizes her new friend Barbara Thorndike is anti-Semitic, Blanche and Rose's concerns about the snobby author suddenly make sense to her.
Boy, did I misjudge you. You know, Blanche and Rose were right. You are not the kind of person I want as a friend.
The final scene finds Dorothy telling the snooty woman exactly where she can go.
Let me spell it out for you. Go to hell.
Barbara's exit is drowned out by the live audience's rowdy and delighted reaction. In this classic moment, Dorothy Zbornak was all of us.
You know, both of you were right about her. I can't believe that I couldn't see it.
What Golden Girls moment do you relate to the most? Let us know in the comments.
Well, looks like you and I have more in common than we thought.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.